Hello everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to make a very quick brownie recipe, okay? So this is an Nigella recipe, it's quite good, so I'm stealing it from her, hope she doesn't mind, but I think you'll need to see because it's quite good. So what you're going to need for this one then, you're not going to need a lot because it's only a small recipe, it doesn't make a lot, it makes enough for maybe 4 people to share or 2 greedy people to share, so it's up to you. Or you can eat it all yourself, I don't mind, do what you like. So what you're going to need then for it, you're going to need 50 grams of butter, okay? You're going to need 50 grams of sugar, preferably brown sugar, tastes nicer in brownies, but if you can only get the white stuff, then don't worry about it, use that instead. You're going to need 15 grams of flour, self-raising or plain, again it doesn't really matter too much for this one. 15 grams of cocoa powder, please use cocoa powder, don't use drinking chocolate. I know it might be tempting if you've got it, but cocoa powder will give you a better recipe. Drinking chocolate has a lot more sugar into it and less chocolate, so please use this stuff. Vanilla extract, if you haven't got any don't worry about it, but it will add a nice little flavour to it. You don't need a lot, so you need that if you're going to use it. 1 egg and golden syrup. Now you've got options now. If you want to make it ridiculously chocolatey, then you can add more chocolate to it, so add about 100 grams of chocolate in it. I'm going to put white chocolate in it because it's just nice, alright? But if you want to make it a little bit healthier, which I don't know why you want to in a brownie, but it's up to you, put about 100 grams of raspberries in there. Raspberries and chocolate are it's absolutely amazing together, alright? So if you want to try it that way, or just experiment, pick your favourite sweet. It's currently nearly Easter when I'm doing this, so if you want to put cream eggs in, half of them and just plop them in, that's also really good. Or I used to put Oreos in mine, so it's entirely up to you. So you need to get prepped and ready for it. So as you can see, I've got all of my ingredients weighed out, alright, so it's straight there and good to go. I've also got myself a little baking dish. It's not very big, so if I just put the egg there for size, that's how big it is basically. What you can use if you haven't got one this small is you can use a foil takeaway dish and it will work really well. If you're using a foil takeaway dish, just keep it as it is, you don't need to do anything with it. If you're using a baking dish like this, which you're going to reuse over and over again, put a little strip of greaseproof paper just on the bottom, because what will happen is you'll put the mixture in, it'll bake, and then all you need to do is just lift and it will come out as one, okay? So make sure all your prep's done. Get your ovens on, get them on now. 170 if you've got a normal oven, 150 if you've got a fan oven, and gas mark 3 if you've got a gas oven. So get all that ready now, get everything weighed, get everything set up, get your ovens on. Right, then let's get started. So the first stage, what you're going to do is you're going to get yourself a pan. Now you need a decent sized pan because all the mixing is going to happen in there, okay? So what you need to add into that is the butter. So that goes in there. You need to add the sugar. And you need to add the golden syrup, okay? So about a tablespoon. Don't go crazy with the golden syrup. We're talking about that much, okay? Just a tablespoon, straight in. Try your very hardest, once you push it off the spoon, not to lick your fingers, okay? And if you do, which you're probably going to do, wash them afterwards, and then you can lick the spoon as well. So that's all in the pan, that's going to go on the hob in a second. Then you need your flour and your cocoa powder. You can mix those together and add a little pinch of salt in there as well. Just a little tiny pinch, not a lot. Salt brings out flavour of chocolate, it makes it taste a little bit sweeter, so you need a little bit in there, okay? Then you're going to need a bowl, your egg, crack on the side, be careful it doesn't go all down your surface, make sure you don't get shell in there, break it in. Then vanilla extract. You're going to add about a teaspoon or about a cupful will do. So the cap that's on the top of the bottle, if you just fill it up very carefully, put too much in it, it's very strong this, you don't want to ruin it, then just tip it in, not a lot at all. Then just whisk that together. So now you should have pan with butter, sugar and golden syrup ready to go, egg with vanilla extract, salt, cocoa powder and flour in a bowl, and that's all ready to put together now. The first thing you need to do is you need to melt all these ingredients together so they're really gooey and syrupy. So on a nice low heat, don't put it on too high heat, because if you do, you'll end up burning the sugar and the syrup, and that's not very pleasant. What you need to do is you need to just keep stirring it gently. It doesn't take long once it gets started. Butter can melt in your hand, so you don't need to worry too much about it not melting. Just give it a second to start warming up. You can see there it's already started. Maybe in a couple of seconds. Have some patience, don't blast it on a high heat. Make sure you keep scraping into the corners of the pan, because if you don't, it will catch and it will burn, and you do not want burnt sugar in your brownie, because it will not taste pleasant at all. And there we go, now it's starting to go liquid, as you can see. Once it starts, it really does not take long at all. What you're looking for is for your mixture to go to this really gooey golden liquid, okay? When you've got it on the hob, please don't bring it to the boil, don't let it simmer, don't let it sizzle. The second you see the butter vanish, because you can't see any more butter in there, even though it still is, that's when you're done. Don't keep cooking it, otherwise you'll ruin it, because it'll split it. It'll split the butter, the fat in the butter from the water in the butter, and it'll go really nasty, so you don't really want to do that. Then take it off the hob, get yourself a little tea towel so you don't put a hot pan straight on surfaces. I don't want your parents complaining to me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the next couple of stages. So we're going to add the flour and the cocoa powder straight in, just tip it in. Give it a stir. Combine it all. And it should start to smell really nice, because the pan will still be warm. And it should smell really chocolatey by now. Make sure it's all incorporated, because mine clearly isn't, because there's got flour there. You don't want lumps of flour in your brownie, that's just not nice at all. Okay, so that's what you're after, that not golden at all, that chocolatey gooiness. Okay, then egg, tip it in, and the vanilla extract as well. Mix it, and eventually it will all combine. It'll look a bit weird, but it will all mix in. Eggs are a bit temperamental when it comes to combining with other ingredients, but it will get there eventually, so do not worry. And there we go. So that's the mixture. Looks really nice. Try not to eat it yet, just yet. Alright. Pan should be cool enough now, so I can take that away. Get your baking tray or whatever you're using, your dish, your little foil takeaway. Then just simply pour it in. How good does that look? Don't waste anything, get it all in there. As you can see, it'll spread, so you don't really have to worry about doing that either. And finally, with whatever you're going to use, so if you're going to put raspberries in, now's the time. If you're going to put chocolate in, now's a good time as well. All I'm going to do, open up the bar, try to resist eating any of it. Just going to break it into small pieces. I'm just going to drop on top. You probably won't need the full 100 grams if you're going to do it in this method. If you're going to do it the other method, you can just stir it in. And chef's treat. Alright, oven gloves. Make sure your oven's preheated. Apologize for talking while I'm eating, but it's chocolate, you let me off. Need some oven gloves, don't do it without them. Put it into your oven. Try not to drop it. That will take about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? Don't overcook it. If you overcook it, brownies turn into a cake. You want it that little squidgy inside centre. So about 15 minutes, okay? And we'll check back and see what it's like. My brownies have been in the oven for 20 minutes. I have taken them out and here is the end result. As you can see, they look delicious. How could you not want to eat them or make those for yourself? Okay? As you see, they're quite small. I wouldn't share. Don't share them. Eat them yourself. Just don't tell anybody making them. Right. If you have got your little foil tray, well, it doesn't matter what you've got actually, leave them in there for a couple of minutes. Alright, let them set, let them chill. I know you want to eat them, but let them chill out. Alright, once you're ready to take them out, if you've got your foil tray, you might struggle. Cut it up and then try and take it out. If you've got these little handy little lifty thingies, there's a better word for that, I'm sure. All you gotta do is just gently lift it out. And I'm going to stop because they're not set enough, so I'm going to leave it a minute or two and then I'm going to try again. Right, let's have another go. So I've left them for a couple of minutes. I've also got myself a little knife and I've also carved around the edge where it's stuck to the side a little bit just to release it. So hopefully this will go okay and it won't it won't collapse into nothing. So do it quickly, lift, and there we go. So there it is. Very, very simple, very lovely and delicious brownie recipe. How could you not want to make that? Enjoy.